Hello Internet, I'm me, and this is My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 3, Episode 10. Yes, I actually got the episode name right. Now, before we get into this episode, I have to do something real quick. I have to, today, we are going to talk about villains. Now, for this particular episode of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, you have a recurring villain. Discord has come back. Now, there is a rule about villains, and that is the rules of three. Any good villain is actually only worth three tries. First time to establish that the character is dangerous, to test the heroes and see what they're worth. The second time is where the villains can branch off into two different directions, and we're going to talk about that today. I'm a nerd, screw you! In this episode of My Little Pony, Princess Celestia has brought Discord back into existence, kind of, to actually see if he can be reformed. Now, like I said, villains can go off in two ways once they become reoccurring. One way is that they come back to help the hero in facing a even bigger threat, such as Venom, who showed up first to hate Spider-Man and test him in every way possible. Second time came back to fight with Carnage, who was threatening both Venom and Spider-Man. And then, of course, you can always do the third thing, which is make the villain stronger, where Venom actually hops from Eddie Brock to the Scorpion, becoming a more powerful Venom. Now, most of you are going, why are you talking about Spider-Man in a My Little Pony? Now, you see, there's something else that Venom does, which is the other branch of what you do with a villain, the redemption branch. Now in comic books, I haven't read it too much, Venom is now a superhero slash working for the government. It's really weird. So you can either do that and have a character grow and be redeemed through actions because of a villain, or you can have him going on the path of staying a villain, just becoming stronger to challenge the heroes even more. Now, what My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is actually doing with this episode is actually quite brilliant. It's taking a bit of both of these branches and putting them together. The redemption branch, in which Discord is trying to be rehabilitated and brought into the world for good, and the stronger branch, to where you see that Discord has come back, now knowing pretty much hearing everything Celestia has said, and is trying to weave his own plans into causing chaos while trying to stave off the fact that he's trying to be rehabilitated. So, let's get into that plot. So, Discord is actually back, and this time the main six is actually trying to rehabilitate him. Well, not more of the main six, but more of Fluttershy. Now, Fluttershy is doing something that actually is pretty surprising. It's a very short summary synopsis, but Fluttershy is trying to help Discord by being a friend. And pretty much, in a way, lets him be himself while giving him very few boundaries. And while the other main six actually see this as a terrible idea, Rainbow Dash even pointing out that Discord is just playing innocent so that Fluttershy won't use her element of harmony against him, therefore not being able to turn him back into stone. And, a lot of that. And, of course, Fluttershy being honest and true to her friendship to Discord. And this is actually pretty brilliant. The thing about why I'm talking about villains so much is because when you bring back a villain, it's either hit or miss. You can either do a really good story with it, or you can fuck it up and make the villain look either too weak or too powerful. This episode actually brings in a good balance of both, making Discord not too powerful with that threat of him still being able to just be turned right back into stone, but also gives a bit of power back to him when he befriends Fluttershy. Now, the thing that I really like is that Fluttershy actually does have a plan. She has this long outstanding plan, which she doesn't tell any of the other main six, mostly because, well, with Discord actually being around, if you told the plan, it would kind of ruin the plan. Especially since Discord knows that he can't touch the elements of harmony, so he tries different ways to touch the elements of harmony. He knows he can't. He knows he's trying to be rehabilitated because, well, even though he's encased in stone, he can still hear everything. Uh, but you know what? The thing that Fluttershy does is becomes his friend. She throws all her trust into Discord, to a point to where Discord actually sees the sincerity of Fluttershy. It's not I'm trying to be a friend to rehabilitate him. It's I'm trying to be a friend because you need a friend. That's what you really need. And at the end, Discord, spoiler, figures out that when he's doing all this chaotic stuff, he actually loses Fluttershy as a friend and the only person who would actually give him a chance. And actually sees that, yeah, you can have friends. You don't have to be this chaotic, crazy person. I mean, you can, but you don't have to ruin everything. And that actually brings out a good, well-rounded, that adds another layer to the character. And I really like that. And this episode really does a really good job about bringing in character development. Fluttershy isn't stupid. She sees that Discord is using her and is being the fake innocent, and she's just like, I know. Let me work my plan. Let me bring in Discord for no, I know what I'm doing. And even Discord goes, well played at the end. Like, oh dang, Fluttershy, you got me. You got me good. And realizes that, what he's doing is wrong. And this is a good way of not only rehabilitating a character who knows he likes doing chaos, but chaos does not necessarily have to be evil. And that's what I kind of like about this. The episode really brings out character development, more character-driven plot. Yes, it's a bit funny, and the animation is really imaginative, especially with Discord. Like, where he's like, man, I was encased in stone, I heard everything Celestia said. Made it a bit hard to roll my eyes. He takes out his eyes, rolls them on the ground, and there's two holes on the ground. The eyes roll into to the holes, and then his face comes up. And I was like, holy shit! That's pretty cool. Like the animation of what they did with Discord really got imaginative with it, and how he moves and teleports around and does shit. It's actually really cool. And the way that Fluttershy is not only trying to be a true friend, but is actually defending Discord when the main six actually call him out on his bullshit, pardon the language, does bring a good level of character development because they're not stupid enough to say, well, if Princess Celestia says so, then why not? They actually do still want to just turn him into stone. Discord tries the whole thing of, well, Twilight Sparkle, you don't want to disappoint Celestia. Oh, she'll understand if I turn your ass back into stone. And I love that. I love this. Uh, this episode was really good. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Because this episode was driven by character. It was driven by story. The animation was good. The humor was good. It could have been funnier, but the humor was the right amount. There were layers to the characters now, especially Discord, and the fact that they actually went with a redeeming story with also a threatening story. There's a threat of Discord being cut loose again and going off and destroying shit, but there's also this part of redemption, and it takes those two branches of a villain storyline and weaves them together to make an actual natural redeeming story, even though you could say the ending of him getting the lesson was a bit quick and a bit like rushed, but you know what? It was a good ending, and I liked how they did it because, well, it brings a real truth to the character, and it actually makes me kind of go, huh. Now I really want to see what Discord will do nowadays. What will he do? Will he to use his powers for good? What will he do? Will he help him with any more threats? Will he help, I don't know, build up the kingdom more? I just really want to see what will happen now that Discord is not only a normal character, but kind of a neutral good character, where he kind of doesn't have any alliances, but he'll still fuck around with shit, but he'll be doing it for good. Will he be like helping Pinkie Pie be even more random? That would be pretty awesome. there's so many options that can go with this episode of how it ended that it just really expands upon the universe, and that again is a positive thing that I really like about this episode. So I recommend you guys actually see this episode, and not for more of laughs, but for more of character development, though there are laughs to be had, and the animation for any of you who actually try to do imaginative writing or descriptive writing about how something happens, or anybody who's into animation really wanting to see how you can really trick and move around with characters and shiz. Because this episode shows a perfect example of that. So again, 10 out of 10 for this episode, though it does have a few minor problems. That never actually harshes against it. And honestly, I thought the characters all acted within character and all had great lines and character development. So until next time, y'all, peace.